Okay, class, this is our topic, food service and equipment layout. This was the slides I posted last week. So this is now the recorded discussion. Learning outcomes, construct a layout. We don't have to do that. If to familiarize yourself about the layout of a food service establishment, identify the different equipment appropriate for a food service establishment, and discuss the basic operation of a food service establishment. Introduction. The physical layout of the food service department plays an important role in attaining the objective of providing well-prepared and satisfying meals to the customers. If the department is too large, time is lost in unproductive travel. If too small, the workers interfere with each other. A well-planned facility not only simplifies the management of the operation but largely determines its success. So it should not be too large or not too small. That's why you have to create a layout in food service establishment. Floor plan. So floor plan, as you can see in the picture, it is an architectural plan of the spaces on one floor of a building. And layout, the second picture, it is a detailed floor plan indicating the arrangement of equipment for accomplishing work according to a specific operational program. So you can see that the second picture is very well detailed. There are measurements and the location of each equipment where they should be placed or should be located. Food service design, it is a visual composition of arrangement and coordination of the food service areas, including the size, shape, style, and decoration based on the original concept of operation, site selection, menu analysis, to develop this into a structural and operational realities. So this is the example of a food service layout. Okay, as you can see, the location of the different equipments. Okay, and based on the definition, it should be based on the original concept of operation, site selection, as well as the menu analysis. So you have to consider the menu, okay, in constructing your layout. It depends on the menu types and the size of the menu, the amount, how many dishes should you have for your establishment. Blueprint, and the sample picture. It is a set of drawing or pictures of what the building or equipment should look like currently or what will exist in the future. So you can see that this is a nice kitchen. It's well ventilated and it's a good design. Written specifications, it indicate terms that cannot be easily shown on drawings or pictures. It describes the general conditions and stipulations on the quality and quantity of materials, the methods of construction, the nature and standards of workmanship, and the manner of conducting the work. Kumbaga ito na yung actual construction. Kung ano yung mga materyales, kung paano yung gagawin. So that includes na the workforce, yung mga gagawa ng yung layout to put this into a reality. Objectives of food service planning. Of course, you really have to plan, kasi first is to make optimum use of money, materials, manpower, and equipment to provide the highest quality of food and service. Then, second, to provide for maintenance and cleaning ease in the food service facility. Third, to incorporate food cost control practices. Fourth, to ensure satisfaction and safety for workers. And fifth, to provide for flexibility and adjustment to change. So, as you can see, you cannot just put a food service establishment just like that. You really have to plan for it in order for it to be successful. A basic principle of layout planning is that there should be a flow of production from the point of receipt of raw materials through the various processes required to the finished product, of course with the minimum of interference. So this is a bubble diagram showing the various work centers, their adjacencies, and relations as they follow the optimum flow. So you can see the numbers 1 to 10. So number 1, the bubble number 1 is the receiving. Okay, number 2 is the refrigerated stores. Okay, kita nyo yung kung paano yung travel. Number 3, dry stores. And then 4, okay, 4, vegetable and the meat preparation. 5, preparation, cooking and baking. And then 6, salad preparation. 7, serving. 8, pot and pan washing. And then 9, dishwashing. And then 10, waste. Okay, preparation, the cooking and baking. Syempre, the ingredients that we use, those mini trash, should go directly na dun sa waste. Mga minor trashes or garbage. Alright. Syempre, we should avoid yung magkakabanggaan, yung mga workers. Kaya kailangan merong diagram paano nila yung susundin pagkakasunod-sunod para maiwasan yung accident. And then general considerations indicating the working units. First is the receiving area. The receiving area is equipped with scales for weighing foods. Ayan, dyan na yung tinitimbang. Okay, yung mga raw materials or raw ingredients. And the area should be large enough for examining all food supplies. Should be accessible from the main roads and provided with space for trucks. So if you can notice, sa mga restaurants, yung kanilang likuran, yung kanilang receiving area, kung mapapasin nyo doon, may mga malalaking truck, doon sila nagbababa ng mga supplies doon sa likod ng restaurant. Then, the storage area, it must provide for dry storage of staples and refrigeration of perishables. It should be adjacent to the receiving area. Dry storage area, of course, it should be dry and have a good lighting and ventilation. So, lahat naman, area sa kitchen dapat well lit and well ventilated. Specifications, must be a cement floor, tile walls, metal shelving, wooden trucks or platform for rice, etc. So, if you can notice, if you go to the kitchen of these restaurants or food service establishments, they usually use mga metal, a metal table or mga shelves for their foods or where they prepare their raw ingredients. And then refrigeration depends on size of institution, menu, and frequency of purchase. Some estimates have been suggested, such as 1 to 1.5 to 2 cubic feet per meal served per day in a small operation, and 1 cubic foot for long time storage. Of course, in refrigeration, it depends on how big or small the food service establishment is. Yung mga malalaki, of course, they're using big refrigeration. They have the walk-in chiller or freezer. So, ayan. And then, the pre-preparation area should have an efficient arrangement of space with a minimum of cross-traffic, yung hindi magkakasalubong or magkakabanggaan. Of course, syempre may tendency na matapon yung hawak nung cook, no, or nung nagpe-prepare yung kitchen staff, and maiwasan ang accident. Permitting the best possible flow of work. Kaya minsan when they like have parang when they are carrying a hot item, no, they usually say passing hot, no, para maiwasan yung accident. Okay, para gumilid, no, yung mga nasa dadaanan. The size of the preparation room should be carefully estimated to accommodate the equipment needed. Cooking area. It derives its supplies from the storerooms as well as from the preparation area. Its operations are interlinked with the pot and pan area and the serving area. An island arrangement of the cooking equipment near the center of large kitchens is usually favored over a wall setup because of its relationship to preparation units and the storage as well as the shorter distance to the serving units. So, kailangan ng arrangement dito magkakalapit lang sa cooking area, and then kung saan mo kukunin yung mga equipment needed for you to cook or to prepare your dish. No, kailangan tamang arrangement, no, maganda yung setup. No, kailangan halos magkakatabi lang, no, para mas shorter yung distance, no, to the serving unit na yung sa preparation, cooking area, para mas mabilis mo i-serve yung food sa guest. Okay, kasi pag medyo magkakalayo yan, kasi ang tendency niyan, matatagalan yung pag-prepare ng food. Ang tendency, hindi agad maluluto, maiinip yung guest sa kanilang inaantay na dish. So, as much as possible, dapat magkakalapit na sila. And baking and dessert area can be an independent unit and has still direct relationship with other units. Usually naman, pagka-restaurant, medyo ang dessert area. But if this is, of course, this is what you serve, dessert, syempre, ito lang ang focus mo, dessert area. Then, pot and pan area. Washing of pots and pans and other utensils is a noisy and dirty task and should be done in a separate area. Equipped with deep sinks and provided with abundant hot and cold water and drying racks. So, yung iba meron sila parang dishwashing machine. No? The location of the area should be near the cooking unit but out of the main traffic lines. Kailangan hindi siya nakaharang yung dishwasher. So, dapat usually nasa nasa medyo corner, nasa sulok siyang banda, no, para hindi siya makabangga at hindi rin siya mabangga, hindi mabasag yung mga hinuhugasan. Okay, usually malalim yung mga sink niyan, tapos yung kanilang ginagamit is yung parang shower type na pang bandaw para mabilis, pati sa mainit na water. No, usually minsan ang problema dyan yung mga plastic, no, yung mga like sa mga fast food chain, diba, sometimes yung kanilang mga glasses, no, yung mga doon, ceramic pa ang tawag doon, kasi hindi pa natatanggal yung oil, no, hindi siyang hugasang mabuti, so kaya dapat hugasan mo talaga maigi yan, para to avoid din yung contamination and natin, no, yung kumbaga to avoid na rin yung mga accident, no, yung madali natin yung ating guest is because hindi ganun nahugasan yung plate. Kayos tayo sa food poisoning due to the bacterial contamination. Okay, next, dishwashing area. It should be compact, light, and airy. If adjacent to the dining, as usually naman, halos magkaano na rin naman ito, magkatabi itong dalawang areas na ito. No, kasi since maingay naman sila parehas. No? Of course, soundproofing para hindi naririnig ng guest yung tunog ng inuhugasang mga plato at kung ano-anong ginamit sa preparation. Okay, there should be separate doors for entrance and exit and of sufficient width to permit free entry of the various types of cars. Should be near the tray and assembly area. The serving area, the length and number of counters to be provided depend upon the number of persons to be served and the speed of service held desirable. Ayan. So, sa serving area naman, kumbaga pag depende yan sa dami ng guests, no? Kaya kailangan mabilisan kapag sa serving area. So, kung papasilin nyo sa mga shows, yung mga cooking shows, o yung mga yung mga parang documentaries or related sa food service, you can see na very ang environment, very magka-stressful, dapat mabilis ka, kasi para hindi mainip yung guest doon in order natin nilang order. Tray assembly area. Centralized service should be located at the end of the food production line in the kitchen, close to the cooking area, near the dishwashing, and adjacent to or close to the tray distribution system. The centralized service requires a separate unit for dishing out the food in trays. So, ito naman sa mga centralized services. So, meron sila mga assembly area, yung production line, where they prepare the food sa isang tray. Then, employee facilities include restrooms, toilet rooms, lockers, and washroom or shower rooms. So, mga medyo malalaki talaga establishment, they have lockers and shower rooms. Lavatories and toilets should be provided at the ratio of 1 to 15 workers. Okay, so, ayan. Food wastage and trash storage, garbage cans should not be too large to make handling difficult or to favor accumulation of garbage. So, not too big para hindi mag-ipon-ipon ang basura and hindi magstay na matagal. They are to be exchanged at least once daily, preferably after the evening meal. Kaya usually, pag closing, doon nila inaayos lahat ng basura. Clean cans being left to replace the filled ones which are taken to the garbage room. Garbage should be kept in a refrigerated room to prevent decomposition before final. Usually, doon naman na din ito na nasusunod, sa likod na talaga siya, yung likod, doon mo na itatapon, yung garbage. There's separate area for this. Okay. So, usually, iba binibenta as yung pagkain ng baboy, yung mga iba naman natitira na ginagawang parang pinupulot ng mga, yung mga homeless, ginagawa nilang pagpag. Like mga manok, mga chicken, ganyan. Ayan. Then, parking area for mobile equipment. Okay, of course, there should be enough space for parking mobile equipment such as trolleys, food conveyors, carts, and dogs. Determination of food service equipment required. Okay, the equipment needs are dependent on the following. First is the menu analysis and production forecast. Specifically given a menu, the steps involved in analysis are determine the portion size, determine the total production needs, determine size of cooking batches, record cooking time for each batch, draw a tentative production schedule, make a production summary chart including the above information. From this chart, determine the size and the number of equipment needed for production. Next, number 2, number of workers required and the work that they have to do, receiving, handling, and storage equipment, ventilation and sanitation requirements. Example, air conditioning equipment, fans, exhaust hood, warehousing, garbage disposal, etc. And determination of space requirements, kailangan din yan. The space required for both the operation and working functions, along with the fixed, portable, and other equipment, must first be calculated and separately and then together. Okay, the steps involved consideration and determination of, ayan. So, itong part na to, class, pwede nyo naman basahin na to, So, Kailangan talagang pati ito is calculated. Usually sa malalaking food service establishment, kailangan nila to. Locating the different function areas on the total space. Ayan, so the dining room. Okay, so the seating capacity of a given area can be determined by the use of the generally accepted standard number of square feet per seat for the different kinds of service institutions. So, nakita nyo yung size for square feet per seat, kung ano yung allocated na sukat per seat. For example, hotels, lunchrooms, 9 square feet per seat. Dapat pantay-pantay yan, ano? And so on. Okay, kitchen areas. The menu is basic in determining space and equipment requirements in a food service institution. Rectangular kitchens and square kitchens are considered the most convenient. Kasi madali silang ikutan. If possible, the length of a rectangular kitchen should not be more than twice their width. The designer plans the kitchen, serving and dishwashing areas so that the workers can prepare food for the patron at the quality level and at the same time he desires it. This is done with minimum expenditure of labor with a discomfort to the workers. Okay, so pinaplano talaga yan, para kumbaga mabilis yung pag-prepare ng food, na at the same time isi-serve mo yung food at this quality level pa rin, and yung oras na in-expect ng guest na magsaserve sa kanya ng yung food, kung 5 minutes lang dapat, no? Siyempre, para na rin sa workers din, to avoid, kumbaga, discomfort din sa kanila. Siyempre, pagka mas matagal, mas malaki yung kanyang, kumbaga, nagiging trabaho, at the same time, yung discomfort, no? And sa huli, pwede pa siyang mareklamo ng guest, no? Kasi nga matagal yung pagsuserve ng food. A frequently used rule for allotting space for the kitchen is that it should be 1/3 to 1/2 the area of the dining room. It has been found unsatisfactory, however, to go by a set space allowance for this area. Many factors influence space requirements, such as the type of preparation and service. Okay, so ayan. Basahin nyo na lang din ito, class, Ayan. Okay, the percentage of floor area are covered by equipment varies according to the production needs and type of equipment used. A satisfactory layout may claim less than 30% of total space for equipment, while work areas, traffic lanes, and space around equipment for easy operation and cleaning may require 70% or more. Okay, so other considerations in determining size of kitchen areas. Okay, the number of meals produced. So, ito yung kasi this is the main determinant of space requirement in the kitchen. Okay, the midday period or evening. So, type of meal. Simple meals would require less equipment and fewer staff. Equipment, and convenience food, service areas, grouping of equipment, and allowances for space for the following should be included: the entrances, employee locker rooms, offices, waste disposal, proper housekeeping, engineer's area, and restrooms. General considerations in planning. First is the schematic design. Of course, you first plan the whole, and then the details. And then plan the ideal, and then the practical within the budgetary limits. Then plan the process and machinery around the material. Plan the layout around the process and machinery. Plan an efficient flood flow traffic pattern which will conserve both fuel and staff energy. Okay, the specifics of the design. Excuse me. The units are separated by partitions. Ayan, yung mga, yung mga specifications na dyan, no? Ayan. Okay, so ito class na pwede nyo na lang ditong basahin. Ayan, you can just read the specifications. Ayan. Ayan. So, let's now proceed to the food service equipment. Food service equipment is designed as, of course, the machinery, appliances, equipment, or supplies which are used in storing, preparing, or serving of food in establishments. It includes chinaware, glassware, kitchen utensils, silverware, and service items. Utensils are small kitchenwares, so yung maliit naman na yung mga utensils, no? And supplies, right? Ito lahat ng mga ginagamit, no? Ingredients, etc. sa food service establishment. So, ito yung mga example kasi ginagamit sa institutional food service ng mga malalaki yan. Ayan. So, sa walk-in na, usually, may mga talaga literal na walk-in chiller and walk-in freezer. Ayan. Factors to consider in the selection of equipment. Okay, of course, first is the need of the establishment in relation to operation. Is it essential or basic? High utility, usefulness. The objective, of course, is to achieve the minimum investment, the same time maximum utility and maximum productivity. So it will always depend on how big or small your establishment is. The cost, initial price or price tag, installation repair, installation expense, repair, depreciation, and insurance. Financing expense, operating costs, right? Taxes. Then the performance, so yung equipment, does it fulfill the specific function that it was designed for? And then, will it do such function efficiently at a low cost? And then, sanitation, safety, is it safe to operate? Is it easy to clean? And then, number 5, design, material, construction appearance, the general utility, value, and flexibility, and versatility. Okay, so this is the verse from Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 to 6. In all your ways, acknowledge Him or acknowledge God, and He will make your paths straight. Thank you.